drift away.
Oh, it's the original. Yeah. What is name?
I don't know.
Captain Tan is heading toward the City of Ghosts, a temple overlooking the port of Fengdu. This is one of the most important religious sites not only along the Yangtze, but in all of China. It's haunted with Buddhist demons and devils. Their mission is the endless punishment of human sinners. According to legend, the tortures that awaited the wicked in hell were reported by inmates who were allowed to return to life. Their horrifying vignettes are housed in a series of temples constructed about 14 centuries ago. The City of Ghosts will survive the flood. But in 2009, the entire port city of Fengdu will be underwater. Only one building will survive high above the hill, the ghost temple that for centuries safeguarded the city. By 2004, the former port had truly become a city of the dead. Most of the inhabitants were moving to a new town built across the river. But for all its doom and gloom, some locals believe the temple has brought them good fortune.
This is the government's policy. My friends and relatives are still here. The new city is only across the river from here. It is not far away. The new city is good, of course. The houses are modern. These are all old houses.
David Li was born on the Yangtze, close to Fengdu. He was a river guide for 16 years. Now he's come back to witness the city's final days.
It's very good, very happy for little kids or young people to be relocated because they're going to have better living condition, better education, and better opportunities, job opportunities. But for those people in their golden age, probably they prefer to stay. I worry about those people.
Meanwhile, surrounding cities and villages like Yichang braced themselves for the waters that began to rise in 2003.
Overlooking the port of Fengdu is a shrine called the City of Ghosts. Dedicated to the god of Hades, it's haunted with Buddhist demons and devils. The endless punishment of human sinners is their mission. According to legend, the tortures that awaited the wicked in hell were reported by inmates who were allowed to return to life. Their horrifying vignettes are housed in a series of temples constructed about 14 centuries ago. The City of Ghosts will survive the flood. But the entire port of Fengdu will be sacrificed to the Three Gorges Reservoir. Saving less fortunate temples has become the daunting task of Chinese architects. Downriver from Fengdu is the magnificent temple called Shibudze, or Stone Precious Temple. The temple's most breathtaking feature is a towering pagoda. 135 feet high, it is the tallest wooden building in China. Located on a rocky outcrop, the pagoda's internal staircase winds upward for 12 stories. The builders used no nails. The structure was lashed into holes carved into the cliff face. At the summit of the pagoda is a Buddhist temple active until the Cultural Revolution in 1966. To survey the river from the highest story is to look back in time. While the dam will engulf the town below, officials hope to rescue the complex with an ambitious project. This is how the temple appears today. To save it, plans have been drawn to build a massive wall around the base of the pagoda. If the necessary funds can be raised, the temple will become a virtual island within the Three Gorges Reservoir. "80 miles downriver is another monumental challenge. Zhangfei Temple commemorates the period between 220 and 265 AD, when 3 separate states ruled the Yangtze River area. Zhang Fei was a heroic general in the state called Shu. Zhang helped purge the land of corruption, but was ultimately murdered by his treasonous officers. In the 1960s, Mao's Red Guards ransacked some of China's most sacred places. Not only was Zhang Fei's temple threatened, but also its collection of some of the greatest calligraphy of the Yangtze.
Such historical treasures suffered damages and destruction during the Cultural Revolution. So to save these cultural relics, intellectuals here wrote Chairman Mao's quotations on the reverse sides.
No Red Guard would dare destroy the thoughts of Mao, so the priceless tablets of Zhang Fei Temple survived. This 156-meter line indicates where the water level will lie in just 5 short years, unless millions of dollars can be raised to rescue the temple from the reservoir. Near the western edge of Guilin Gorge, a song echoes through another treasure of the Yangtze. It laments the passing of the poet Kui Yuan. His works have been compared to a host of Western Romantic poets, from Shakespeare to William Blake. High above the city of Zigwei, this splendid temple was created in his honor. Standing some 300 feet above the water, it's hard to imagine the rising waters will reach this high, but they will. The strategies to save the Yangtze temples are daring and dramatic, to say the least. Chinese engineers are planning to take the Zhang Fei and Kui Yuan temples apart. Piece by piece, wall by wall, they will be reassembled on higher ground, a feat that demands extraordinary skill and determination.
My own feeling is that the temples, particularly the Zhang Fei Temple and the Chuyuan Temple, which they do have plans to move, probably are a little bit overly ambitious. Given the logistics of that area, there are no major roads, river traffic is uneven. It'll be very difficult to take apart those temples and then reconstruct them within the time limits that they've set up. Other temples will be lost forever.
During periods of drought, the waters of the Yangtze recede low enough to reveal an extraordinary sight. This rare archival footage of White Crane Ridge documents a bar of sandstone covered with stylized carvings of fish. The eyes of the fish mark low tide. They were carved in the 8th century over a period of 72 years. Additional inscriptions provide a detailed record of times of drought. A clue to the whims of ancient climate, they span 1,000 years. But soon the tide will ebb no more at White Crane Ridge. While his passengers sleep, Captain Tan charts a course from Zigway to their next destination.
Ziet er lekker uit, bij. Is echt wat voor jou. Lekker man.
Upriver from Guilin Gorge is Wu Gorge. 25 miles long, it overlaps the borders of Hubei and Sichuan provinces. By lunchtime, the White Swan has tied up just outside the gorge to take on fuel. Further down the pier, a chartered boat has arrived to pick up a package from the past. Excavators from the Zhengba site are sending another shipment to the museum in Chongqing. This crate is filled with ceramic artifacts. Over the past week, work at the site has shifted into high gear. There's been a breakthrough in a mystery that has long puzzled archaeologists. None of the pottery at Zhengba is the same age. Instead, it spans thousands of years, suggesting the site was continuously occupied. The buildings of one culture were constructed on the ruins of another, making Zhengba a layer cake of Yangtze history.